That's not Sunday night, though, is it?
No.
It's a day game. They'll be riding a 12-game win streak. That's the longest streak entering the conference championship round by any team since the Patriots bid for perfection in 2007. I don't remember, Steve. We didn't make a big deal about that, did we?
I don't know.
Still long ago.
Yeah.
Niners team's got some new faces in town, but the result remains the same as a season ago. A trip to the NFC Championship. Pleasure to welcome back to the show Christian McCaffrey, his 8th straight game with a touchdown. San Francisco on to the NFC Championship game. And Christian, it's wild. I'm old, man, a lot older than you. And for people like me, we remember when these uniforms shared the field, and it was some of the legends who were there on Sunday playing, right? Guys like Jerry Rice, etc., Joe Montana. What was it like to be on that field with those guys watching with the stakes as high as they were?
It was awesome. Just seeing guys like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Kyle gave a history lesson of, the games between the Niners and the Cowboys, I think later in the week, and just to understand what this kind of game means, especially this late in the year. So it was an ugly win, but it was a win, and was happy to get it done.
Ugly, maybe. I'd say it's a playoff win. You could describe far better than I. I've never played in a playoff game, Christian. Just how different is playoff football the deeper you get into the playoffs?
Well, I'm still learning, and I don't like to make a whole lot of blanket statements right after games. I'll wait and watch the tape. But, you said it best. The biggest thing in playoff football is just to get the win, however you can, by any means necessary, and the defense did a great job all day. We got the offense rolling, moving the ball a little bit more in the second half, and took care of the ball, so it was big, and it was a great team win, but definitely a gritty playoff win.
Yeah, but I've heard a coach say a long time ago, there's no such thing as an ugly playoff win in the National Football League. I'm sure you would agree with that. And now you get a chance to take it on the road and go into Philly. And I'm sure you've been asked, Christian, a million different ways. The same question I'm going to ask, and it's about Brock Purdy. Here's this young man. It's still new to him. This is his first start against an NFC team on the road, right? But when you look at him, he never looks fazed. What do you see in his eyes in the huddle during these games?
Yeah, he's got a killer instinct. He's calm, but he's extremely confident. He's everything you would want in your quarterback. He demands the huddle. He's patient. He's hard on himself. He's able to extend plays, and he's been an impressive rookie. Not even a rookie anymore, but he's an impressive player to watch and share the huddle with.
All right, last thought. I've asked a bunch about the offensive side. The guys you see and go up against in practice, and the type of confidence, Christian, that it helps create for the team to have when you know you can lean into the strength that is that defense. How do you describe that side of the football?
They're monsters, man. They fly to the ball. They swarm to the ball. They take so much pride in everything that they do. It's so fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. I'm very happy they're on our side. But it's just, you see it every day, not just in the way that they play on Sundays. You see it in the way they watch tape, the way they lift weights, the way they train together, the way they do all this extra stuff, and it shows on Sunday. So definitely happy they're on our side.
No doubt. Christian McCaffrey, congratulations on getting in the end zone again, earning the right to play again next Sunday against Philadelphia for the right to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I appreciate you stopping by. Continued Niners, 19-12 winners. And so Brock Purdy's run continues at quarterback, now the 5th different quarterback to reach the conference championship round in his rookie season. The first since Mark Sanchez. It's been more than a decade since he did that. The other 4 names were all top 50 draft picks. As you're presumably well aware at this point, Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the very last name called at the end of the draft. But he and the Niners move on. Here's their coach, Kyle Shanahan, on his quarterback's performance.
He made a number of plays today. I mean, that by no means was anything perfect for the whole offense and for the whole team, but it seemed like playoff football in that game. I mean, we were going against a team and just watching them all week. We had a feeling it was going to be this type of game, and that's why we were stressing the run game on both sides and stressing to protect the ball and try to get turnovers, and we accomplished both of those things. And you do that stuff, you still got to make a number of plays. And I mean, you saw how many George made today, and those all it's tough to do those without the quarterback. So he made some big-time plays too.
For myself, there's times in the game where it's like, man, I want to be better. I want to capitalize on third downs and finish when we get in the red zone. So, I mean, that's always something that's, been in me in terms of wanting to get better. But at the same time, man, it's the NFL. It's not easy to do everything on your own. And so for me, it's like, man, I got to do my part in this team, for this team. And everyone else is going to do their part, and that's where trust comes into play. And we trust everyone that everyone's going to do their thing, and we'll just let everything fall into place from there.
A familiar and frustrating script for the Cowboys and their legion of fans all across the nation and the world, frankly, out before the conference championship for the 12th consecutive playoff appearances. And Dallas's drought is the longest of its kind in postseason history. The good news is you get there. The bad news is they're hitting their head on the ceiling short of the stated goal. Chiefs had the previous longest drought. They've reached the AFC Championship 5 straight times, though, since they snapped the streak. Here's their quarterback, Dak Prescott, on this most recent loss.
Just disappointed. As I said, I mean, guys that played their asses off, defense who gave us an opportunity to win this game, who played hard against a really, really good offense, a really good team, and for us to only put up the points that we did, that's unacceptable, and it starts with me, and I've got to be better. I mean, that's no other way to sugarcoat it. What we've done as an organization and taking a step, and yeah, I mean, it all sucks right now. It all sucks. Don't get me wrong, but there's no doubt when you
an incredible journey, with this group of men, and we came up short tonight to a very good football team.
Frankly, turnovers do settle the scores with games like that, and I'm so disappointed for our fans. And this felt good. This felt good today. Felt good with the team. But San Francisco had something to say about that.
Jerry, you said before the Tampa Bay game that nothing that happened that night could impact your thoughts on Coach Mike McCarthy. Does a result like this change anything in your mind with him?
No, not at all.
Louis Riddick is with us, and some news that has come in just late Sunday night, just some further clarity on the Pollard injury late in the second quarter. It's a fractured left fibula, according to ESPN's Todd Archer, which is going to require surgery. So let's start there, because there's a lot to get to. We'll get to the San Francisco piece.
Yeah.
How much did that change what Dallas had to operate with on offense when they lost that difference-making talent at running back?
Yeah, the explosive component of their offense, Scott, takes a tremendous hit. Look, when you're going up against a team like San Francisco, you need guys who can produce those plus 10, plus 15, plus 20-yard plays. Without Tony Pollard in the game, although he's a running back, they just don't have that guy that once they get into space that he can create those kind of plays that you're going to need in order to beat San Francisco. CeeDee's the only guy who's left, right? So now when CeeDee's just the only guy, that makes Dak have to elevate everyone else, all the supporting players. He's going to have to elevate them. So that means this: when Michael Gallup has a corner beat on a post, you got to lead him inside. You got to put it on him.
Yeah.
You cannot turn the ball over. You cannot be leading Dre Greenlaw to possibly maybe creating a pick six because you're staring down your primaries. You have to elevate your play when you start losing playmakers, and Dak wasn't able to do that tonight. And that ultimately, along with turnovers and other things, really led to their demise.
And I appreciate that there are certainly questions about clock management, decision-making, and Coach McCarthy, he is a popular target of people who love to talk about football on the internet, which I appreciate and understand. But ultimately, I think you and I agree, it's the people between the lines that have to make the plays.
Yep.
And Dak Prescott, as did others, let him down in this spot.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Look, I think in this game, coming into it, you knew that Dak was going to need to play very similarly to how he played against Tampa Bay in terms of being clean, number one. But number two, again, when you're paying Dak what you're paying him, it's going to be about him making those unique type of plays. It's going to be about CeeDee making unique type of plays. And look, we can sit here and talk about, well, maybe they should have went for it on fourth down, as you were talking about, deep in your own territory, 2 minutes left, have your timeouts. But really, the game was kind of lost even before that. And when you don't capitalize on opportunities against a defense as good as this, it's going to cost you in the long run, regardless of what the coach does.
Let's pivot to San Francisco, who has 60 minutes more in their season at minimum.
Yep.
And we talk a lot about identity in this sport. San Francisco has one. How much does the identity of the team allow Brock Purdy to be Brock Purdy, as opposed to trying to have an identity like a Montana or a Young or somebody beyond his station at this stage of his career?
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you this. Kyle Shanahan has done a great job of actually identifying, or rather establishing that identity, which is this. We're going to run the football in various different ways. We're going to attack the field inside out, both in the run game and the pass game. And then we're going to utilize different forms of play action to attack you inside out. And you saw, okay, so the game wasn't going good for them as far as their running game early on. But then in the third and fourth quarter,